Today I'm at SeaWorld with my mommy.
I don't want my car to become a statistic. Talk about what we're on. Did we start it?
Yeah. I'll do it later. No doubt. Alright,
Did you say we're on?
I'll do that, yeah. That's really slow. That's really slow. Why is it so slow?
Because we're driving.
Oh god.
Did you feel it move?
Moved a little bit. I don't think it would have gone nowhere, but we am flying.
Favor de mantenerse sentado.
All right, ready. Looks like you've been assigned a dolphin rescue mission. Are you ready? Sit up straight, eyes forward, and hold on tight. Oh yeah. Good luck.
Simulation sequence initiated. Trainees, please face forward and prepare to launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, my poor ears are gonna die. Sit down, of course it's gonna. I'm just gonna try and keep my head back as far as I can. Keep your head back so it doesn't go flying.
Orca Stadium. I've been a trainer for 20 years and I can tell you it is more than just a job. It truly is a way of life. We have dedicated so much of our personal and professional lives to the care of these animals. It is a huge responsibility, but ultimately a privilege to learn from, care for, teach, and build relationships with these 5 killer whales. We're proud of what we do, and we look forward to sharing what we've learned through those relationships with all of you today and to come. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy Orca Encounter.
Our world has one interconnected ocean. A vast blue expanse critical to life on Earth. And there's no better animal to represent the ocean's beauty than the killer whale.
They live in every corner of the ocean, from the Arctic to the Atlantic, the Southern to the Indian, to the Pacific and beyond.
The killer whale story is the ocean story, and it's one we all share.
We are one world, united by our ocean.
problem-solving abilities. These behaviors keep our whales active and engaged. SeaWorld's killer whales have inspired generations to care for our natural world, and we're excited to share their story with you today.
Killer whales are the ocean's top predator. They use cooperation and communication, not just size and strength, to take their place at the top of the ocean's food web. At the bottom are small animals, like krill. At the top, the apex predator, the killer whale. Killer whales are as big as a bus, faster than an Olympic swimmer, high-flying and powerful.
We're going to see all of that today and more. These and other behaviors provide an environment full of enrichment.
We spend days, weeks, months, years building relationships with our whales. This creates trust, and that allows us to do some amazing things. For example, when you visit the doctor, you present your arm to draw blood, or step on the scale to see how much you weigh. It's much the same with our whales.
Throughout today's presentation, you'll see our whales moving together in unison. These synchronized behaviors help strengthen social bonds and allow them to problem solve as a group. This is just another reason why they're known as the ocean's top predator. Their scientific name is Orcinus orca. Their common name is killer whale. Our 5 killer whales have their own unique and personal names: Takara, Sakari, and Kamea. And joining us right out front are Tuar and Kayuket. Kamea is our youngest whale at just 9 years old. Takara is the oldest member of our pod, and she's 31 years old. Takara is also the matriarch of our pod, which means she's the leader. These whales trust us and take an active role in their own health and well-being. Through the use of positive reinforcement training techniques, we're able to teach them husbandry or healthcare behaviors. Joining us at the slide outs today are trainers Julie and Amy to help demonstrate some of these behaviors. One of their very first behaviors we teach our whales is what's called a fluke present. And that's where the whale will present their tail flukes to the trainer, just as Tuar is demonstrating now. This not only gives us a look to their entire underside of their bodies, but it also gives us access to the easy-to-see shallow veins located on the underside of their tail flukes. Once a month, our veterinarians are able to collect blood samples from these very veins, and the whales are conditioned to stay calm throughout the entire procedure. Throughout today's experience, you may notice the trainers giving back rubs, tail massages, or even pectoral flipper massages. Killer whales have very sensitive skin, and this is just another way we can strengthen our relationships with them. Another important diagnostic tool is knowing how much each animal weighs. Once a week, we ask our whales to slide up onto a killer whale-sized scale located in one of our adjacent pools. We do this by asking for a behavior called a slide out that Kayuket will demonstrate here in just a moment. Now, in this position, you may notice that there's a large portion of his body still in the water, from that dorsal fin all the way down to the tail flukes. That's called the peduncle, and that muscle is packed full of power and can weigh several hundred pounds. So in order to get an accurate weight, we simply ask him to lift his tail up. And that's how we know as of this morning, Kayuket is weighing in at 9,580 pounds. It's important to know the weights of our animals to ensure our younger whales like Kamea are growing appropriately, and our older whales like Kayuket are maintaining a healthy weight. All of these husbandry behaviors ensure that our whales are healthy and thriving.
And the care isn't just physical. Mental stimulation and play are vital, and we surprise and engage with our whales at every opportunity. Play is how killer whales teach their young to hunt, and for the adults, play is important too. It seems that they just enjoy having fun. Making time for play is an important part of life for killer whales, and for us.
Observational learning and mimicry play a critical role in the life of a killer whale. From the moment that they're born, they learn the necessary life skills by watching their mothers or other members of their pod by mimicking their movements. Here at SeaWorld, they mimic our movements, kind of like a game of Follow the Leader. So down at the glass with Tuar, we have a new friend, Delilah, and we're going to play a quick game of Follow the Leader. So go and get him and give Tuar a big wave hello, and let's see what he does. look at that! He's paying such close attention to you. Killer whales have excellent eyesight, both above and below the water. And we'll often see our whales spy hopping or even jumping completely out of the water to get a better view of their surroundings. So we're gonna ask Tuar to demonstrate a behavior called a sighting bow. So go ahead and give that hand signal. And Tuar saw you. He is now about to dive down. We're actually gonna ask for that hand signal one more time. There we go. Awesome. Now Tuar is diving down at the bottom of this 40-foot habitat to jump out of the center. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tuar. That looked great. Over on the other side of the stadium, we're gonna hang out with our new friend Carl and Cayuget, and we're gonna learn more about how killer whales communicate. Killer whales communicate in a variety of different ways, and one of those ways is through the use of vocalization. So let's see if Cayuget can demonstrate that for us today. That sounded great! Did you know that scientists believe when a killer whale jumps out of the water and crashes back down the surface, it's a way of making their presence known? You see, sound travels 4.5 times faster in the water than it does through air. So when a killer whale crashes back down the surface, that's called a breach, and it can be heard for miles around. So go ahead and take a step closer to the glass so you can see him using his powerful tail flukes. Oh my goodness, we had no idea that was going to happen. Well, here's a towel for being such a great sport. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a round of applause for our audience volunteers. Killer whales can communicate by leaping out of the water and making a huge splash. SeaWorld's research and observation has shed light on many mysteries about these amazing animals. For example, we know that the gestation period of a pregnant killer whale is 17 months. That's information that's impossible to gain out in the open ocean. However, some information can only be gathered through field observation, and that's why SeaWorld partners with organizations like the Norwegian Orca Survey to further our knowledge. Killer whales are remarkable, powerful animals, and perhaps the best expression of that power is when they hunt.
Killer whales stand apart. They have no natural predators, and just about any other ocean animal could be their dinner. Depending on where they live and their chosen prey, they've developed some epic hunting techniques. Off the coast of South America, killer whales will beach themselves, riding in on waves just long enough to catch prey. They'll also create waves that knock animals like penguins or seals from icebergs. Most importantly, they cooperate, communicate, and coordinate as a team. Here's footage of killer whales corralling a school of herring. A whale dips in and feeds, while the other whales keep the fish together with swipes of their tail fins.
In the ocean, killer whales create ways to hunt, use fluke slams to stun their prey, and they can even beach themselves up and out of the water. For our whales, it's a fun demonstration. But for you, it's time to get wet!
I didn't die. Made it back home with my kitty Witty. Oh look, there's another kitty right here. Kitty. But anyways, I didn't die. So, yay. But that was my day at SeaWorld. Bye-bye. I forgot to mention it was SeaWorld San Antonio in Texas.